What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Headspace Podcast Part 2 review of the Quelle Chris and Chris Keys collaborative project Innocent Country 2. Again, that is Quelle Chris's and Chris Keys' new collaborative project Innocent Country 2, and this is part 2 of Headspace Review, episode 166, and I am your host, Chris Chrome. Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and continuing the review from part 1. I greatly do appreciate it. Just going to do a little bit of a recap of what we do here. I'm basically going to go track by track and explain to you guys what I think, feel, and how I interpret the music, kind of what this album left me with, and just kind of how I interpret Quelle Chris and Chris Keys. From what I understand so far, I've already done a part 1. You can already check that out now, or by the time this video is out, part 1 should already be out. And you'll be able to get a better understanding of my first review on the first 8 tracks of this project, 1 to 8. I kind of go in and I just break down exactly what I felt and think. I do want to kind of preface this continuation of the review with a little bit of an explanation of right now. For part 2, I've noticed that the album took a different change in terms of where we're going to be going, so I'm really excited to get into it and really explain to you guys kind of what I got here and kind of what's been going on. But at the same time, I also think that I may not know a lot of what Quelle Chris and some of the friends that we're going to be receiving on the rest of the project might be saying. So my interpretations and my understanding might be a little garbage. It's okay. I'm gonna do my best and try to give you guys the most accurate, I guess, explanation of what I feel from this album. But to be fair, I just spent the last 2 hours reviewing the last 8 tracks on this project, and it took me a little while just because of the fact that, like, again, the writing skills and the way that they just present this is so great, and my level of understanding, or at least my level of vocabulary, may not be to that standard, so there's a lot of things that I may not be able to pick up, but I will definitely do my best. So again, thank you so much for clicking on this video and continuing the review. If you think I butcher anything or I did not explain anything properly, please hit me up in the comments down below, as well as let me know on Twitter. We can have that conversation there. As I've been saying recently, people who are hitting me up on Twitter are getting more direct responses because it's just easier for me. My phone's in my hand a lot of the time. I don't really like using the comment section on YouTube on my phone. It's just irritating to kind of get to it and just kind of go at it. I don't know why. It's just me. It's not like it's the hardest thing. I know it's super easy, but me, I'm just like, I'd rather just be on my computer and kind of dedicate a couple, about a half hour to an hour of just like responding to comments on a computer. I find it's just faster for me to kind of just go and click through and whatever. That's not the point. So we'll continue this review. I'm just going to jump into it. I've already, like I said, I've already kind of broken down on part 1 where I know Quelle Chris from, just a little bit of a recap with that. I reviewed the project Guns, which I thought was really, really great with Holden, and I've went and took a look at the first Innocent Country project, just so I wasn't coming into this series, the second installment in this series, completely ignorant, or at least like not knowledgeable of what we're supposed to be getting. So I do have a nice broad understanding of what's happening here, and yeah, so we'll just continue with it. Like I said, I still got 8 tracks to go, and there's some things that I do need to talk about and kind of break down, and that will be great. So we're just gonna jump right into it now. So the next track, and technically the first track of part 2, and it's only part 2 because I'm doing 2 parts because it's a long album and there's a lot to get to, I feel, but this album is just one thing, so there's no 2 parts in the album. Just want to clarify that. But anyway, track 9 is called Black Twitter. Continuing this project for track 9, coming off of the last song, Grease from the Elbows, just to kind of bring you guys up to speed on where I was at, because there is a part of this album that kind of feels like there is a story to it. There is some type of narrative that you're supposed to be able to kind of follow along. Now, like I prefaced in the beginning of this review, I may not completely understand everything that Quelle Chris and friends are saying, and a lot of this too is I also don't come from their world. I don't come from, one, I'm not black, as you can see. I am half black. My family is, I got black in my family and everything like that. It's like the 14th video I've feel like I have to clarify that for some reason, whatever. But visibly and physically, I am not black, so I don't know a lot about, like, you know, the oppressions, the racisms, and just kind of like the average general life that black people have to live. I, you know, got to live a different life, as it seems. So I do see here that in this track, it kind of seems to be addressing Black Twitter, which I do understand is, like, I guess just the Twitter section for the whole black community that are speaking up for black people, and really their agenda is based on, you know, supporting black people, the black community, and making sure that you know, they get what they need and they're being taken care of. And as we know, even in 2020, there's the black community still dealing with a lot of fuck shit, a lot of, you know, just the same things that we've been dealing with, or at least they've been dealing with for years and years and years and decades and decades. And the more we try to make changes and the more we try to do better, it just seems like shit just never changes. And that is what I kind of understand from this song a little bit. To kind of get into it, the hook starts off by Quelle Chris with blackberry pie, black something birds, good luck from black kitty cats, favorite color, favorite word, black coffee and black tea served with a pic of Kermit sipping. You get daiquiried up on Black Twitter. So he's clearly addressing the Kermit sipping meme. Cool. Shows that he's, like, into the times and he's really up to date with what's happening. Okay, that's cool. You're, like, hip. That's nice. But I don't really know what that hook actually stands for. Clearly, he is emphasizing the word black, and he is emphasizing it's his favorite color, his favorite word. He seems to be proud about it. And a lot of what we have been getting from this project so far is a lot of, like, pride in being black. And even from the project Guns, as well as the first project, Innocent Country, there was that narrative that's still there. And from what I also understand, Quelle Chris is really also kind of like that, just from the projects I've listened to. He does speak up for, like, the black community, and really is trying to, you know, bring light to certain conversations and certain things that are happening with them. So that's really great. Just like everyone else in hip hop in their own way and their own type of things. Yes, you know, I did speak on part one that Quelle Chris did make a song that, you know, kind of is satirical towards trap rap, but it's also kind of making the connection of, like, you know, we can make good music, but we also need to, like, remember where we come from and what we're really doing this for. So that was cool. Then we get into the first verse, and you got Quelle Chris starting off with takes more than February for black observance. Tip said black is black, and the congregation sang for sure. Word bet, this ain't no BET, this black entertainment that don't rerun what black used to be. Now that's really interesting how, like, he's using BET, Black Entertainment Television. I used to watch that as a kid, 106 in Park as well on BET. That was really a cool thing for me, where I got a lot of my hip-hop music and stuff there. Also, I like how he's addressing that and kind of playing it on these words with like the word bet, how, like, now the word bet is like, oh, bet, I got that, don't worry, like, it's kind of like a good thing. But then he kind of breaks up with the BET, like, this is no longer what we were kind of raised to kind of act like. The whole thing is changing, everything's different. So that's kind of what I am getting from this. Again, a lot of the wording and a lot of the writing is just really great. Under black cotton would something schemes emerge, shifting the minds of I and you who thought, like, just, it sounds butchered when I'm saying it, but the way that he does present this in this song is really, really great. And he kind of just goes through really, from what I'm getting, is really just addressing that, like, you know, we always have to remember blacks. We always have to kind of be pushing for black power. We always need to be fighting for that equality. That equality. So it's really, really dope. Then we get into the hook again. So that was cool. Again, I'm a little bit just not really understanding exactly, because I don't really, you know, I'm not a part of Black Twitter, so, like, I don't really know exactly what he's addressing here, but I do know that they exist and what goes on. So that was really cool. So then we got Mosel, beautiful black baby boy, the world is ours, beautiful black baby girl, all twinkling stars, balcony of your bounty, read the black man's God, simple positive affirmation, because we all got hearts. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, just interpreting it, I don't know what that means, but I do like how he's again emphasizing this beauty in being black, and the power and just the happiness in it and the pride, which is really great. You know, black crystals and black rubies keep us roofy like black bass lines, and black music and black slave lives, black exploitation movies, true. Shouts out shouts out to all my black folks in the rapture. I promise to behave after I'll be right black at ya. Like, it's just, it's really well done, and what I'm really just getting is, like, we're diving into more of, like, just being black and really just dealing with what being black is. So that was super cool for me. I did enjoy this track. We do follow up with a hook, and then we got a nice little third verse from Nelson Bandela. Collecting the consciousness, we writing all that so easy, the maps we be the facts, subjective with stats, decoding the tracks, collecting the consciousness, we writing all that. Like, even that, it's kind of emphasizing, like, you really got to take time to decode the music and really listen to what's actually happening. So I thought that was super cool. This track really does stand out, and I did give this song a 4.5 on 5. The production, the way that they're just flowing together, the beat selection is just really great. The only thing is just my lack of understanding what they're speaking about. So pretty much it, but the song itself is still really great, and just the sonically it's just amazing. So 4.5 on 5. The next track, track 10, is called Ritual. So this track, called The Ritual, is really interesting. The way I kind of took this track is that it is following up from the last song in terms of black pride, black power, and just this idea of really focusing on the black people, and reminding everybody that even though in, like, dark times, you know, it's a great thing to be black. This is very short. It's about a 2-minute track compared to the rest of the songs on this part of the album. So it really does just kind of set the direct mood of, like, what we're going to be getting. And I understand that, I think, is where we're kind of entering in. It was also here that I kind of started realizing that the whole album actually switched. Just not like complete change, and it's not part of it anymore, but more in this, like, just the mood and the beat selection. There's not much of this high vibe anymore. It's still vibey, it's still a mood, it's still great and high energy, but the high energy is more in terms of, like, a mellow mood. So it's like they're putting so much energy and commitment into making you feel this mellow type of mood, zoning into what he's really saying and trying to get that message across, but it's filled with high energy, creativity, and just passion that you can really get from here. And I am getting a lot of that from this little skit too, because just the way it's said. So starting off, black is more than a color, it's a feeling, an emotion. It is what my children claim to be proud of. In the same intonation used by James Brown, it's a fist raised by Fred Hampton before his demise. It was I experienced 10 minutes into meditation as I search for peace. Black is the earth, under the dirt, where my ancestors dwell. It is the distance between past, present, and future. It is a gap in space where the moon and stars reside. Black is love, black is you, black is me, black is we. I call forth my positive ancestors and angels to this space. I thank you for working on behalf of myself and my family in the spirit world. I call forth Mr. and Mrs. Tennille. I think I butchered that name, but I read it all just because it's really short, but the way that it is produced here, it's like there's nice breaks in this, and it really kind of takes you into really thinking, like, listen to what is being said. Now, following up with the last track, this is more of like a re-emphasis of being proud to be black and reminding everybody, like, this is what, and when I say everybody, I guess he's talking to the black community, right? But just the idea of, like, black is love, black is you, black is me. It's more of a understanding that it's not just race, it's not just culture, it's everything. I like how he's using black as the earth, under the dirt where my ancestors dwell. Like, first off, dirt is black, brown black, it's just dark shade color. And then under the dirt, even emphasizing that deepness and the darkness of the soil is so, like, deep. And then where my ancestors dwell, just emphasizing, like, yo, we walk on my dead ancestors who are black, emphasizing that the world is filled with blackness and stuff. It's just crazy. I know what I'm saying sounds super crazy, but this is actually really, really good. I did appreciate it. It's really short, and it does just emphasize that idea of, like, we keep you in our spirits, everybody who's passed away, as well as I call upon these magnificent black figures to give us strength to keep going forward. I did appreciate that. I gave this a 4.2 on 5, and the next track is Sudden Death. So this is really cool. We've now kind of switched off into this idea of sudden death, and what's interesting is, like, you think that because of the title of the name, the name of the title, you would think that this is like a darker track, but the beat comes in with this high, happy, head boppy type of vibe, and it's interesting how they're just expressing this idea that death is imminent, we all die, it's gonna happen. But the way that it happens is different for everybody else. The way that we experience it, the way that, you know, it just we didn't think it was going to happen, and it happens in a blink of an eye. It was really interesting. I guess that's what I'm kind of interpreting from it. So it starts off with, it must not seem like sudden death. It must feel like much time is left. So first times first comes second best. Just get the most from what is less, but life ain't perfect. And I'm kind of understanding here that, like, I feel like they're saying that when shit starts to go wrong, this is kind of how you start to feel, and this is how kind of in the dark depths of those emotions, this is how you feel, like sudden death, like it's over. There ain't no kickbacks or replies, and we can't get back what we save. It's off the train tracks anyway. It's not for certain, but life ain't perfect. Again, the wording of this and the writing talent is so great, but I just don't understand it. It can't be all sudden death. We're so much different than the rest. Just clear the desktop, start fresh. Just let your seat back, take a breath. You'll find it's worth it, because life ain't perfect. And I'm just kind of, like, thinking, you know, this plays on the I feel like the sudden death is playing on this idea of, like, needing a break, like burning out, maybe like overwhelmed with a bunch of shit. I'm not sure. I don't really quite get it, but it's very beautifully made, and a lot of what I like about this album is that the way that the music is made is just absolutely amazing. But again, like I prefaced, a lot of this may not be something that I completely understand. But it's fairly short. I don't really have much to say about it. It's really just emphasizing this idea of sudden death. So at the very moment right now, that's kind of all I really felt from this track. But it's good, and it does still fit that narrative of, like, what we've been getting from the rest of the project, and it's still kind of bringing light to certain topics, kind of, I guess, trying to remind people to be more like, you can still kind of get through this. Every song kind of has this idea of, like, you can still get through this. So it was something that was very interesting. I gave this a 4 on 5. It was pretty short to me. It didn't really have much. But it was good. It was good. So 4 on 5. The next track is called Make It Better. This song, I'm just going to come out and say it, kind of bores the crap out of me. I feel like on every album I end up finding that just one track that I kind of just get not really into. It's a little slower. It's one of the slower tracks. It's a complete different change from a lot of what I've been saying, the high energy that we've been getting, even in some of the, like, darker tracks, some of the more serious conversational tracks, there's still this vibe there. This song has more of like a mellow feel to it, slowed down. I did get distracted. I kind of caught myself scrolling through Facebook. I kind of caught myself getting up and around. There was just something that, for me, really didn't, like, captivate me as much. It's really long. It's a 5-minute track, so I know 5 minutes isn't that long, but just listening to this song, it feels like it drags on. It's nothing to do with any of the artists. Quelle Chris does great, and Starr, Busby, whatever, does great. So she has a really great singing voice, and I really enjoy her efforts on this track, and just the nice mesh between Quelle Chris's voice raspiness and her soft, sweet voice coming through. The way that Starr just holds on to certain notes is really great. But I don't understand this song, nor did I really care enough to really understand, because I just wasn't interested in it a lot. But going through, Quelle Chris starts off with, what be worth the wait and what amounts to nothing, better than 9 to 5s or pushing weight or something. There was 2, these was 2 for 5, bruh, ain't no way he buffin'. Buggin', used to losing dozens, used to boofs for buzzing. It sounds like there is this, this kind of like idea of like what his past was like. This is a body of water, ain't no wave, buddy. Shit, I put that on everybody. What type of dudes say that Q ain't dope? Oh, the nerve of them. Type of dudes see you Q, what's up to swerve on them. That's living legend, that's the usual. Q's a living headache, also usual. I do agree, I understand. I like the living headache part, not to like say he's in a negative way, but yeah, man, a lot of his bars kind of left me with a headache going, what are you saying? It's not that it's bad. It's really great. It's just, you have to really sit down and decode a lot of what is being said. So it's interesting. There is no place for quitters. Quitters duly note. When life ties you down, beloved, chew the rope. If you swimming in lemons, get 'em by the throat. Squeeze 'em till the pulp fill a cup of something for your folks. It's like he's really, I kind of feel like in that line he's also explaining like you really got to take all the opportunities you can and really just keep moving forward and making it better and trying to find that way to succeed. I guess I kind of think that's what he's saying. I done seen the best of them quit just shy of winning. I done seen the least of these chumps dipped out like Reggie Kenneth. Old business, cliche, fake friends, fame, body image, which is I like how old business, cliche, fake friends, fame, body image. I like how he said that. First they dread it, now they get it a regular Rocky Dennis. So it's like I feel like he's expressing that when when you're dealing with fame and things change, first you're kind of like new to it and you don't really know how to deal, but now like you kind of get used to a lot of what to expect, and this is what you're going to be dealing with. I think that's what the song's about. Quelle Chris is chosen name, no gimmicks. Kind of sounds like Obi Trice from Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks from whatever, Without Me from Eminem. So it's kind of cool. I guess that's just what it reminded me of. But the rest of the song does follow through. I like the chorus. If I can imagine it better, it will be better. Put my hands in the earth, learn the ways of work, uncover the treasures. There's no use in crying over what ifs. It's not forever. It's all in my mind, I know. So I think what the chorus is trying to explain is more of this idea that there is, like, I guess you're stopping yourself from succeeding. I guess it's like the stress and just the doubts that you have within yourself is what's actually stopping you from succeeding, and it's not really anything else. I think, I'm not too sure. Verse 2, as I set my daily intentions, I know that they're coming, so I get ready to mention all the things that I want and how I'll live it when I get it. Off of Front Street, change my residence to Winner's Way, never believe a lie, told him right, that's what my mama say. So far I am seeing that like she's dedicated to succeeding and proving to everybody that she's definitely going to be different. No, I set my thoughts on higher things. So what you think about me ain't got no say in how I win. No, I set my thoughts on higher things like driving a Mercedes Benz. Scratch that. I'd rather jet to an island, do my own thing. I own it like Oprah, showing up in my dreams, showing up. What up, cousin? When we gon' kick it? What's the next party? Now, I understand what she's doing there, but for me, the ending of that verse kind of just threw me off a little bit. I was just like, but to be clear, I'm not like artistically inclined to be speaking on anybody who's writing and making music this beautifully, but just for me and just listening to it, I was like, that kind of fell off a little bit, but sure, it was okay. And then we get into the outro, If I Can Imagine It Better, and then she kind of just refollows with, she kind of doubles up on the chorus, which I thought was really cool, but my only issue is that I guess the fact that I wasn't interested in this song really does lose a lot of I guess what they're trying to show, because I wasn't really paying attention a lot. I get the overall prospect, the overall sentiment of it. They're just trying to find better ways in terms of getting a better life, so that's super cool. But just, I don't know, this wasn't personally my vibe, and that's just really it. But yeah, I gave this song a 4.2. It's a beautiful song. It's beautifully made. It's just a little slow for my liking, and it just feels like it dragged on a little bit, but that's just me. The next track is Graphic Bleed Outs. So this track follows very nicely with the rest of the project, and it's really, really cool what they're explaining here. This is more of an in-depth look on the emotion of feeling betrayed, and just kind of how, you know, people kind of deal with fake friends and loyalty and just friendships that are ending because people are deceiving and fake and whatnot. And I thought that this was a really, really cool track. Quelle Chris starts off right away. One delivered the cut, then begged, please do not spill out. Every word sincere as all get out. When hiccups turn to spit ups, you Linda blaring the shit out. Fam turn to foes, all-nighters turn into sit-outs. So it's like you're already getting this idea that they've been backstabbed, that they've been, you know, kind of feeling like they were highly respecting this person, or highly respected by these people, and that they've turned around and easily just cut them out and backstab them. The easy rinse away bond to partner pain like Nair. Part Indian mama tried to halt the rain with prayer. I like how he's doing that, kind of like insinuating the belief in spirits, the belief in prayers, the belief in just like the culture of the native Indians. So that's really also dope as well there. And then we get a refrain once one delivers the cut. And then we get into verse 2 from Quelle Chris. At all with the gauze it took to bring pause, the horror, the scars that shook to the core. Once thought a gift from the gods you mistook for armor. Most end up right with the Lord or end up seeking Allah. I like how he's addressing that, like, when things like this kind of happen, we look for answers in different places. We look for answers in religious beliefs. We look for answers in darker places in our life, or even happier places in our life, to kind of get us through this dark side. I really do think that this is a song that's really kind of breaking down, like, you know, it does happen. People are mean and they are evil and they will kind of like backstab you and stuff, but like these are ways you can kind of cope with it and really deal with it, because ultimately all flawed the thief who greets a burlap sack full of hearts he wishes he could pawn, but they still beat while apart. Now that's a living soul collabs with the shadow and dance routines with the ghost cause not to many mainstreams got deleted in post. Now I like how, for me, I think he's addressing that, like, there's like, now with social media, even though friendships are ending and stuff, you're still kind of dealing with like memories and things, because there's posts and you still see them active online and stuff, which kind of brings back these memories. That's kind of where I thought he was going with that. But overall, I don't really understand the song, and it's not the song itself, it's just lyrically the Quelle Chris is just absolutely great at writing, and I just don't sometimes I just don't catch a lot of references. Then we get another refrain. Then we get what is saying here, an amazing instrumental, and I couldn't explain it any better. The instrumentals, the break in the pockets of instrumentals that just play throughout the album, just giving you this mood, feel, atmosphere building aspect is really, really cool. I really do enjoy these nice little pocket breathers of what we're getting from this project, so it was really dope. Then we get the bridge by Melanie St. Charles, who does a really great job. You knew me best, and so you hurt me the worst. You slid the knife inside my lungs until they burst. You cut me like a knife, cut me like a knife. Oh, what happened to us? Oh, what happened to us? Oh, my love, what a cut, what a cut, what a cut. Slid in wherever soft until my heart burst. Oh, you cut me like a knife, you cut me like a knife. So for me, I'm kind of seeing here that this may be like, again, an interpretation of like a broken relationship. They're breaking up. This is kind of dealing with how negative things kind of come into relationships, and you kind of have to deal with it. But as well, I also think that they're kind of addressing just, again, friendships and just relationships in general, and how like interactions just keep going and things could fall off. So I know what I'm trying to say. I know I'm not making any sense right now, but I know what I'm trying to say. Okay? Basically, the song is basically saying you got to do it on your own, and everything that you do on your own will be okay. And these are things that happens. Quelle Chris comes in with the third verse and goes, friends turn to villains and feelings turn into drinks. Some fetishized the drama. I can't speak. The armor covered in chinks. The weight of this world I fed it had a tug tenfold. The weatherman in green, the newsroom is cluttered with info. Now I like how he's addressing kind of like the weather is the mood and the emotions that he's dealing with is what I see here, and things change based on certain experiences or events that happen with other people, and then him being the weatherman is changing his mentality and the way he kind of expresses the info, because he's got so much info that he doesn't really know where to start with, let's call it the emotions. So that was something really cool. Have your black kraken regret. Have the wrong words heard by the heart can weather your skin folds. Have ya black kraken regretting times you was involved, but no wounds heal, but scar arms grow. Raindrops from sunlit skies, clouds float. The IOUs and I know I but use we wrote. Okay, I don't know whoever transcribed this wasn't able to do it, or if this really how this is like being presented, but this is still great lyrics. These are still great expressions of what he's trying to say. I do think it's really just like these are things that people deal with in terms of friendships, in terms of relationships, in terms of just interactions with people, and he is really taking a moment to just explain how he feels with this experience being very negative. I did appreciate it. I thought it was super, super cool. I thought that it was a nice revive back into the album, coming off of Make It Better, so that was something that I did enjoy. The music just brought me back to life, and that was something that was really, really cool. And Melanie St. Charles did a really great job, and her voice just really like, whoa, revitalized me, and I was like, that's amazing. So that was something I did appreciate, and I gave this song a 4.5 on 5 because it's actually really, really beautiful. The next track is called Mirage. Okay, so besides being like the longest track on the project, this song is really, really great. The sentiment of the song kind of feels the same as what we've been getting through the rest of the project, but it's more of this idea of everything is kind of fake in the way of the Mirage, and the idea that it's all kind of made up. And what I'm kind of understanding is they're breaking down kind of where they were before in the past, their lives, what they were doing, and kind of where they are now, but also with this expression that with also this idea of like even where they're at now, it's still fake. It's still like searching for this happiness is still a thing that has to be done even when attaining all of this. So Quelle Chris starts off with, stepped out like Scooby-Doo in the gang with a sack of treats as the case completes. The villains knew the name. We were stuffing chillums with that lame. Back when dub sax was the thing, now we glide across skies like Liu Kang, no shame. So clearly he's expressing like where he was before and where he is now. There was, you know, back in the day he was on the block smoking weed, doing whatever he has to do, and now he's gliding the skies because he's traveling, he's touring, and he's making money, so that's really great. We carry the state on our back like new quarter change. Rats was Adam like Elmer and Maximilian. I was focused on the craft. I knew Rax was in the cards. Sorta mutant. I seem to see through the ceilings. That's really interesting. I like how he's kind of using that sky's the limit and then going beyond that. So that was really dope. I like how he doesn't have any ceilings for himself. And really his whole verse kind of just really breaks down the dedication of like working at it and coming out of that struggle. My head was wrapped in the stars. That's real bars. I know homies that caved in, but still God said. Some said it's pre-programmed. Some states it's up to Allah. You ask me, it's all part of the Mirage. And I like how he's saying the Mirage in regards to like this fantasy mystery idea of what we think. So that was interesting. The break annoyed me a little bit just because here it's really cool. Don't think that far. Who's that? No, whoa, said that it's the Cure and the Super. Oh, hey, Mirage. Yeah, hey, Mirage. Yeah, Mirage. But it's like, you can't hear it. It's so overpowered by the music and just the effects that you can't really hear it. It sounds really mashed up, which I thought was a little bit not good. But at the same time, listening to just listening to the song, I was like, okay, no, I get what they're doing here. They're trying to show this like outer body experience and this like there's somebody in the Mirage speaking to you and this whole idea. So that was super cool. Earl Sweatshirt comes in and follows suit with doing the same type of thing. I thought I saw Jolanta. I thought I saw me on the other side of the seesaw mounted, bouncing on the up and up, counting downers. The rate flounder flat to bring you around the bend and back. But now what? The hour's not an alibi. It doesn't add up. You out of time. Fried like halibut with two sides. I have no idea what he's saying, but it's dope. Smiling for the camera, I summarize the lie. What did the damage had to leave you with the treaties was signed. I don't like. It's so fucking encrypted, but I think he's basically saying the same shit as what Quelle Chris was saying, kind of like proving to everybody that he was going to make it. I switched the plan up, boundaries got redefined. I read the vines, it's a madness. We hacking lives, sink my teeth way past the beat into the rhyme when I grabbed it. So I thought that was actually super cool. I overall did give this track a 4.5 on 5 just because it was super dope, and even and just the way that they're writing it is super dope. The third verse comes in, we get another break. The third verse comes in and it's Denmark Vessey, and he does the same thing. Oh yeah, hit me in the heart one day. It's just words, a string of letters I smashed together. Some random sequence calls to cast the weather. Inshallah could last forever. I don't have to be here, but I made it through. I made it through a maelstrom. The director's cut might not even make the album. So I like how he's really just expressing like a lot of the higher powers may not be able to even make the album because these are some more important things that we need to express, which I thought was actually really cool. And then we get another break, and then we get a spoken word from Big Sen, which essentially kind of just breaks down a really long paragraph where he goes, we can make it. We love you guys. We believe in you. Everybody is on the right path to be able to go forward, and I thought that was really cool. But a lot of this is very heavily digestible. I need to sit with this track a little bit more to really understand it. So I apologize if I did not give enough credit to this track, but it's great. It's really great. I did give it a 4.5 on 5 because all of the artists really came together as one and just focused on what they really wanted to do. So I thought that was super cool. 4.5 on 5. The next track is When You Fall. So this song does, the premise of this track I think is really to give out the idea that we are family, and that when you have that family mentality, you are protected by everybody you care for. Quelle Chris comes in Yeah, hey, yeah, peace to Big G, Lil G, JRG, me, KT, JG, NRC, off, tree, contract no needed for A&R, fam, deep, all flawed, ain't no one God, still family, return of the kings, Frodo above, it's if you shade something, we know it's above me, no room for you or your goons, tunes weak, JG will lay you in tombs, no sleep. And I feel like he's just really giving you more of that, this is my crew, this is the people we deal with, and when they fall, we all kind of fall. I like how at the end of his verse though, he goes, when OG like airbrush backdrops and group photos see problem in your solution, inner words and no homos, thought you two new extremes, don't stop Jack, some highs don't take in hells or contracts. It's funny how life can be no joke or callbacks. When the curtain calls, all we want is applause, max. And I like how he's just saying, like, after everything we've done and everything that, you know, we go through as people and even as artists, we just kind of want to be applauded for the efforts and the creativity that we can bring to the table. And I like how he's taken a moment to just praise, I guess, his group and his crew himself. On the hook, he goes like that, keep your fam still on this map intact. If you trip flat, don't get lapped, snap back, like that. One being keep the no caps in all caps. Big 10 brackets don't lack all champs. When you fall, fam, got your back, no slack, like that. Some of these references and some of these slang words I don't really understand. I understand them in terms of talking to certain people and like what they're using the connotations from, but I don't really get it in terms of this. But essentially, when you fall, fam, got your back, no slack, like that. And I like how he is addressing that, kind of like this is what it's about. When you've got that family, when you've got that connection and friendship and that bond, anything can be really great. So it's really cool. Nappy Nina comes in on verse 2. Yeah, whoa, second day draws, all for the cause. I ain't funky, I'm just working it out. Climbing the walls, put a pic to this shit, cause I'm in the mall. Fuck a fortress, got a forest this tall, imagine the go, ain't no bananas, what you playing for gold. Everybody baby, but I'm feeling really old. I don't know what she's saying, but it's dope. That's all I have to say. I don't really actually know what she's saying here. It seemed like she is talking in code, which is really dope, and I give her that respect. But I'm also just like, I don't get it. And I'm reviewing the project, so I'm not going to sit here and listen to this 6, 7, 8 times. I do have other things to do. But, like, it doesn't take away from the beautiful production and just the way they did this track. So I just because I don't get it doesn't mean it's not great. Way too high, guess I mean that I'm halfway home. My aim, Mac train, go, got a knack for the zone. Terrell Owens, derail the emails that claim my own. I ain't Wanda, you're a shy ass cousin, copping. It sounds like she's also kind of letting people know, like, not to fuck with her, so that's pretty cool too, but I didn't really get it. Then we get the hook again, and we get the third verse from Fresh Daily. I got something I've been working on when I'm feeling dark in my apartment with the curtains drawn. In my bag like Birkin on hermit mode, getting verses out. If ever I'm hurting or I'm nervous, I'm kirking out. One thing is for certain, this helps a homie just work it out better than jerking off or lurking on a third account on Instagram. Ooh, that's so dope bars, bro. Just the way he's like expressing, like, yo, we deal with our problems in terms of music and we deal with our families and stuff, and like there's other ways you can really cope with some of these situations instead of having to fall into the traps of the generic bullshit that you do to cope with a lot of these fucking problems. So that was super cool. Winning sneaker purchase or puffin' purple burning clouds or pervin curvy models flirting on every twerk account. I stop and breathe, close my eyes, I count to 3, I count my blessings, not my curses, lay my burdens down. That's the best growth I learned up on the West Coast. Ooh, spitting real bars right there, and so is everyone else, by the way, but this just seemed more direct and just more clear to me. So I really did appreciate that. I like how he's just focusing on doing his own thing and really just, you know, trying to do the best that's right for him and his family. So that was super, super cool. We get another hook, and then we get the last verse, verse 4 from Sill, but it's like 5 ill. I sat back, cracked a tall can, and had a laugh. Thought back the various past, good and the bad, connections that all last, and others happen to clash. I'm just adapting to the fact that time passed in a flash, and now I'm 3,000 miles from home. Wish I could hop on a flight to kick it. I'll just pick up the phone. You know me, homie. I'm the same. I'm just a little more grown. So far it's like, even though his life has changed and things are different now, he's still the same person inside. He still cares and respects and holds those same moral values inside, which was, I thought, was really, 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 really cool. And his verse really follows suit with the same type of passion and the same type of just care and honesty for everybody. So that was super, super dope. Then we get the hook and the outro. The outro is just really saying peace to everybody. And this song really just it's like I felt like this may be like the crew track, like the posse cut on the album, where like just they're really paying respects to him and just the whole crew and how everybody is still doing well and doing good. So I thought that was super, 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 super cool. I did give this song a 4.5 on 5, and yeah, I do want to just say before I wrap it all up, because there is one track left, but it's like that short. Again, I do apologize greatly if I haven't really put that much effort into a lot of these songs. It's just, like I said, this is part 2. There is other things that I need to get done, and in terms of just the album coming out on Friday and trying to get this review out as quick as possible, I didn't really have that much time to really sit down and digest all of these things. And literally, you know, to go through and really pick apart a lot of the lyrics, it's time consuming, but that's still not an excuse. So I do apologize for that. But, you know, like I said, this is for a conversation. This is for the community. I want you guys to let me know what I missed, what you guys interpreted of the song, and please just hit me up and let me know. The final track on this is Fifoalsa, credits. So this track just kind of ends the album. It's a 64, or it's like 49 seconds long, and it literally just ends the album. It's a nice little end intro, kind of following out from the last track, and then there's credits, so the beat kind of changes and really just kind of gives you this credit aspect of like names on the board. So it was really, really cool. There really isn't much to say actually about it. I thought it was a nice little wrap up to the album. I thought that it does kind of play in this cinematic whole feel of just this Innocent Country Season 2. So that was actually really, really dope. I like the creative aspect of this whole thing. But yeah, it's 49 seconds long and it's literally just an instrumental. So pretty much it. I gave it a 4 on 5. It was great. With that, that's the end of the album review. I gave this whole project a 4.3 on 5. I really, really did enjoy it. I thought it was super, super great. The production, the lyrics, the album, the friends, everything with this is just so amazing. I'm so happy that Quelle Chris is still showing me the creative side of that he can do and just everything that he can bring to the table. It was just really, really great. I do, again, apologize for not being able to maybe understand a lot of the lyrics and a lot of what's going on. Like I said, this is getting reviewed literally. This part is 2 days after the album came out. So there's a lot in here. It's not an easy digestible album if you're gonna sit down and listen to literally everything. If you're gonna play it as like an album where you just kind of go and, you know, just listen to it, it's not so bad actually. Like, listening to it for an hour and 3 minutes is pretty dope. You can get some stuff done and just kind of zone out to it, and it does a really great job of putting you in a nice mood, even though there is like conversations and topic discussions and they're kind of raw and there's kind of like these honest impurities in this project. There is, you know, there's some sort of like message or like feelings you can take away from this project, which I really did appreciate. I love the album cover. I think it's really, really great. I love everything about this. The production from Chris Keys is absolutely amazing. I really do want to take a check. Really want to take a few moments to check his other projects out or see if he's got anything there available to check out. But yeah. Thank you so much to the Patreons, Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, Linda Williams, DJ Black Hurricane, Jonathan Barnes, and Scribble. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for us. They follow us on Patreon. They basically have a hand in what projects we're going to be reviewing, mostly for Classic Quest. If you guys have anything you want me to review, hit me up on Twitter during the week. Let me know what albums are coming out on the Friday, and I'll try to get that done. Whatever you guys like is mostly what I'm going to be trying to do. There's a lot of music that I like, but I may start my own little short reviews on my Chris Chrome personal channel, just to kind of get more content out there for you guys. If there's some albums you want me to review or whatnot, it may not be an entire same type of thing. I may just kind of pop in and give you a quick little 10-20 minute explanation of the album, of what I listened to, but I'll still be doing the main reviews on Headspace, but there is a lot more to come, so thank you so much. With that, again, thank you to the Patreons. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for staying with me the entire time. I know it's 2 parts. I know this is long. Again, the first part I feel maybe a little bit better in terms of explanation. The second part I know has a lot of lackluster in it, and it's just lacking a lot of like meat and content. I do apologize. This album is very, very heavy, but also very, very beautiful, and I think that everybody should take a moment to listen to it. There's a lot of stuff you can take away from it, and it's just great. Overall, the project got a 4.3 on 5. My name is Chris Chrome. I am ending it now. I will catch you next time, next week, or whenever you see the next video on Headspace. This has been Headspace episode 166, part 2, Quelle Chris and Chris Keys collaborative project, Innocent Country 2. Have yourselves a great quarantine. Bye-bye.